Hello everyone, my name is Darshi Sharma. I'm Assistant Professor of Faculty of Law in Kalinga University, and today I want to discuss about rights of vulnerable groups. People who are easily susceptible to physical or emotional injury or are subjected to unnecessary criticism or in less advantageous position in any society may be defined as vulnerable people. Vulnerable groups are those groups of people who may find it difficult to lead a comfortable life and lack development opportunities due to their disadvantageous positions. Further, due to this adverse socio-economic and cultural practices present in each society, they find it difficult many a times to exercise their human rights fully. In language of human rights, vulnerable groups may be defined as certain groups of population who are often encountered by the discriminatory treatment or in need of some kind of special attention for protection of the state to avoid exploitation or from harmful environment. People who are discriminated based on sex, race, by birth in a particular community, religious or disability or any other criteria that is specific to each society may generally be described as disadvantageous people. The concept of vulnerable and disadvantaged group is as old as human history. From ancient to modern times, in every society, number of instances could be found wherein a section of people in each society are given a different kind of treatment. In general, the discrimination often based on humiliation, harassment, intimidation through social, political, economic, customary, and cultural factors. The idea behind such practices is to keep away such people from the forefront of social activities and deprive them of their life and liberty, which is a critical point under Article 21 of Indian Constitution. Further, keeping them aloof, depriving them from their economic, intellectual capacities to serve the needs of rich and dominant people of the society is what they are frequently dealt with. There are a number of kinds of disadvantageous groups: women and girls, children, scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, old age people, indigenous people, and refugees. United Nations conferences relating to women often has dealt with those issues which are the primary areas of concern for women. These areas are identified in Beijing conference as well. Some of these areas were poverty and women, education and training of women, women and health, violence against women, women and armed conflicts, women and the economy, women in the power of decision making, institutional mechanism for the advancement of women, human rights of women, women and environment, women and media, and the girl child. Along with this, another set of disadvantageous groups are children. Conventions on the Rights of Children, CRC, took place in 1989. The United Nations, considering the number of abuses that are alarmingly raising all over the world in the protection and promotion of children's rights, adopted a legally binding convention directly addressing the children's rights as human rights. The objective behind this convention is to bring children being human, their rights to constitute a human right. As a human rights, children's rights legally guarantee the rights internationally and halt all kinds of discriminatory, abusive practices that are adopted against their life and liberty. The overview of rights under CRC talks about right to life and liberty, right to education, right to food, right to health, right to decent and safe environment, including drinking water, right to identity, right to fundamental freedom, and right to protection. The third type of group includes SC and STs, along with other indigenous people in Indian legal scenario. The hierarchical caste system, along with other socio-cultural practices prevailing in India for many centuries, has resulted in discrimination and inequality. Despite the abolition of untouchability by Article 17 of Indian Constitution, segregation of people belonging to SC persists, particularly in some pockets of rural India. In access to places of worship, housing, hospitals, education, water sources, markets, and other public places, the form of untouchability still persists in India. The elderly person is one such category which faces the discrimination based on the age. Elderly people face number of problems. These includes, among others, physical and financial security, abuse, neglect, among many others. Human rights belong to each and every person, whether that person is old, young, and regardless of any such age criteria. The increased life expectancy has led to an increase in number of persons who are in the age group of 60 and above. The United Nations General Assembly has declared 1st October as International Day for Elderly, later rechristened as International Day for Disabled Person. Along with all these groups, there are a number of other groups as well which have this problem or as a vulnerable groups. Those are refugees and people who are being forced to migrate from different countries to India. Because of fear of persecution, these people have the right to settle in any other country which they want to seek refuge. But these people do not get the basic set of rights which are given under Indian Constitution.